Hey, today I am going to teach you real life English. That's right, the English that native English speakers actually use in real life, not just book English. This lesson is going to help you so much. Now, this is episode 5 of our real life English series. Are you ready? Well then, I am teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is a very beautiful image. But I want to show you the right portion of this image. Look up top in the right. When I see this, I immediately think magnificent. Magnificent. Now I want you to repeat after me. Magnificent. Excellent. Last time after me. Magnificent. Excellent. Now this word magnificent just means very good, beautiful, or deserving to be admired. Something that is extremely beautiful, like the image I just showed you. Now let's see an example sentence using this word. Here we go. We have, they live in an absolutely magnificent home. One more time. They live in an absolutely magnificent home. What are we saying? We're saying that their home is extremely beautiful. So whenever you want to say something is beautiful or worthy of being admired, you can now say magnificent. Excellent. Now, let me give you a sentence pattern for this word. Here's the pattern you can use. The view from ... is magnificent. Again, the view from ... is magnificent. Now, here's an example sentence using this pattern. The view from my new apartment is magnificent. Again, the view from my new apartment is magnificent. Now, I want to show you the view from my new office. It is also magnificent. That is the view I see every day. So I can say, whoo, the view from my new office is magnificent. Now I want you to try to use this pattern. Make your own sentence. Put it in the comment section, all right? So again, we have magnificent. Now I want us to jump back to this image because we see the magnificent sky. But what about the other portion, the larger portion? In English, I would say expansive. Expansive. Again, after me. Expansive. There you go. Again, one last time. Expansive. Excellent. Very good. Now, this word expansive just means covering a large area. Covering a large area. Just like we saw in the image. A large area. A large portion of the sky, right? So here's an example sentence I want you to look at. We saw the expansive view from the window. Wow. We saw the expansive view from the window. Makes sense, right? Now, let me show you a sentence pattern you can use with this word. Here we go. The sentence pattern you can use is the ... is or was expansive. Again, we're using a simple pattern so that you can get used to using this word. Again, the ... is or was expansive. Now, here's a sentence using this pattern. The Grand Canyon is expansive, right? The Grand Canyon is huge. It's very big. It is expansive. Makes sense, right? So one more time after me. Expansive. Good job. Very good. Now, before we go to the next word, I want to quiz you. I want to see if you're ready for this quiz. So we have our first quiz. All right, here's the first question. All right, now you are going to have 5 seconds for this quiz. So I want you to look at this first question. Here's the question. I want you to fill in the blank. The woman likes ... houses instead of tiny houses. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Time. What's the answer? Yes, you got it. Excellent. The woman likes expansive, very large houses instead of tiny houses. Very, very good. All right, let me reset the timer, and I'm going to ask you question number 2. The food she made was absolutely ... 5 seconds. 2, 1. Time. What's the answer? Very good. The food she made was absolutely magnificent. It was really good. This is a really good compliment. So if you have some good food from a native English speaker, tell them your food, was magnificent. They'll really be pleased. All right? So very good. Those two we've learned so far, magnificent and expansive. Now I want us to go back to the image. I want us to look at a different portion of the image. Let's move closer to where the rocks are. This looks very serene. Serene. Again, look at me. Serene. Excellent. Last time after me. Serene. Good. Now the word serene just means peaceful and calm, marked by utter calm or quietness. Very peaceful. Think about walking through the woods and there's a very quiet stream. You can hear the leaves rustling. That is a very serene environment. All right. Now let's look at an example sentence. Here we go. We enjoyed the serene landscape at the top of the mountain. We enjoyed the calm and the peacefulness at the top of the mountain. So one more time. We enjoyed the serene landscape at the top of the mountain. Now let me give you a pattern, a sentence pattern you can use. Here's the pattern. The ... looked so serene. It looked so calm. Again, the ... looked so serene. Now here's a sentence using this pattern. Man, the sleeping baby looked so serene. You know what it feels like to look at a baby sleeping. Just peaceful and calm. It makes us feel good. The sleeping baby looked so serene. So again, last time after me. Serene. Excellent. All right, now let's look at another part of this image. If we move our eyes to the right a bit, we see this. A reflection. Reflection. Again, after me. Reflection. Good. Last time. Reflection. Good. Now, this word reflection just means the image of something in a mirror or any reflective surface. Now, let me show you the image one more time. What is being reflected? The sun. You can see the sun's rays on the water. So again, we have the word reflection. Good. Now, let me give you an example sentence. Here we go. They were looking at their reflection in the mirror. One more time. They were looking at their reflection in the mirror. Makes sense. Looking at themselves, making sure everything was okay, checking their hair, their makeup, making sure everything was okay. They were looking at their reflection. Now, what if you want to use this real life English vocabulary word? Here's a pattern for you. He could see his reflection in the ... Remember, it's not just a mirror. He could see his reflection in the ... This is a pattern you can use. So we could say, he could see his reflection, or she could see her reflection in the mirror at the end of the hall. Now we're saying where it's located, so we made the sentence longer, right? So again, he could see his reflection in the mirror at the end of the hall. We use this word reflection. So last time after me, reflection. Excellent. All right, now what about this next word? So again, we had reflection, but our eyes kind of zoom out and we see the man looking, and we have in or into the distance. Again, in or into the distance. One more time after me for pronunciation practice. I'll do both ways. In the distance. Good. Second, into the distance. Excellent. We use both of these patterns, these expressions. So this just means to look at or to look to a place that is very far from where you are, although you can still see or hear things there. We can see the sun, but it's very far away, right? Just like the man was looking very far into the distance. So let's look at an example sentence using this expression. The man was looking off into the distance. Again, the man was looking off into the distance. Now, what if you want to use this in a sentence? Let me give you this pattern. The ... could be seen in the distance. The ... could be seen in the distance. A very simple pattern. Now, using this pattern, here's an example sentence. The large boat could be seen in the distance, right? Now, we could also say, again, looking at the image, we could also say, hey, the sun could be seen in the distance. The clouds could be seen in the distance. A very simple pattern for you to use. Now, we have our second quiz. I need to make sure you understood all of the words and expressions. So here we go. Our second quiz. First question. Now, again, remember, you have a 5-second timer. Here's the first sentence. The view from the top of the mountain was truly 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Come on, you got it. Was truly excellent, magnificent, very good, excellent job. Now, second question. Let's restart the timer. The seals formed small groups on the ... beaches where they breed. 5 seconds. Start. Time. What's the answer? Come on, I know you have it. What's the answer? Exactly. Expansive beaches. Very, very large. All right, here we go. Question number 3. Let me restart the timer. He enjoyed writing in his journal next to the small and ... lake. Here we go. Time starts now. 2, 1. Time. What's the answer? Come on, you know it. Yes, the serene, calm, and peaceful lake. Excellent job. All right, question number 4. Let's see if you can find the answer. Before she left the house, she looked at her ... in the mirror. What's the answer? 5 seconds. 1. Time. What's the answer? Come on. Excellent. Reflection in the mirror. Very good. All right. Number 5. Here's question number 5. The youngest student stared off ... instead of focusing on the lesson. 5 seconds starts now. 2, 1. Time. What's the answer? Excellent. The young student stared off into the distance instead of focusing on the lesson. Excellent job. I am so proud of you. You learned so many real life English words and expressions today. I want you to use them in real life so that you can sound more like a native English speaker. Now, I want to remind you again before we go, get the English with Tiffani app if you have not already downloaded it. I have a ton of lessons, pronunciation, helping you make longer sentences in English, English fluency, vocabulary, and the list goes on. You can download it for free right now by going to the Android store or the Apple store or clicking the link in the description and go get the English with Tiffani app. I want to help you more, and if you want to keep studying with me, get your app now. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Remember, I'll see you next week, but as always, remember to speak English. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. So this story that I want to tell you came to mind because last week, so I moved to a new office. Remember earlier, I showed you all the view from my office, right? The view from my office. Remember we talked about that a little earlier? Beautiful office, beautiful apartment, beautiful area. It's wonderful. But I got home late one night last week. I think I got home maybe around 10:30 or 11 p.m. It was dark outside. It was very calm and serene, right? So I got out of my car and I have an automatic lock. So I just hit the button and it locks my car on my key. So I hit the button and it went doo-doo. So I stepped out of my car again, locked it, doo-doo, and I was about to walk on the sidewalk toward my apartment when all of a sudden I heard footsteps behind me. Now remember, it was late at night, it was dark, it was very calm, but all of a sudden I heard footsteps behind me. Now, immediately I thought that someone was following me. So I turned around quickly and there was a man standing there. He had a hood on and he was walking towards me. And I looked at him and he said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "Dude, you can't just walk up on me like that." It was actually my neighbor. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I think he was cold, so he was walking kind of quickly and he was kind of leaned over like this. And I thought about, man, if I had been in South Korea, it would have been totally different. You see, I was scared at that moment because I thought someone was coming to attack me. But when I lived in South Korea, again, this situation reminded me of South Korea because living in South Korea, even at midnight, as a single female living alone, I could go outside at midnight, walk to a park by myself where it was dark. They had a few lights there and I could walk and not worry about anyone attacking me. That's how safe Korea was. And the situation that happened last week reminded me of how much I miss Korea and walking around at night without worrying about anyone attacking me. Now, my neighbor's great. He didn't do anything, of course, but that fear that someone may have been walking up upon me, that fear went away when I was in South Korea. It's a very safe country. Maybe your country is just like Korea, very safe. Or maybe your country is similar to more of a dangerous country. But I'm glad everything worked out, of course. And my neighbor, he's a cool guy. But it reminded me that sometimes you can be in an area that's safe and sometimes you can be in an area that's not safe. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this short story today. Have an awesome week and I will see you all next time.